प्रेम से समापति महादेव की जय, वृंदावन में हरिलाल की जय। अरे सोल सामने जुड़ाओ तो ना जो है ब्यूटीफुल आरती। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमो नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम जय श्री राधा राधा राधा। ओम जय श्री कृष्ण 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 श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः। श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः। ओम जय श्री राधा राधा राधा। ओम जय श्री कृष्ण 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 श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः। श्री राधा कृष्ण राधे गोविंदा। चंद्रमुखी चंचल जित चोरी सुगर सावरा सूरत भोरे। श्याम श्याम एक से जोरे श्री राधा कृष्णाय बोले। ओम जय राधा राधा। ओम जय श्री कृष्ण 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 श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः। श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः। कृष्ण मुरारे एक शक्ति के आधारे श्री राधा कृष्णाय राधे। ओम जय श्री राधा राधा राधा। ओम जय श्री कृष्ण 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 श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः। श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः। कस्तूरी कस्तूरी कुमकुमजुत विंदा जनन चारु तिलक व्रज चंदा दरदरार लाल सुनंद श्री राधा कृष्णाय बोले। ओम जय श्री राधा राधा राधा। ओम जय श्री कृष्ण 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 श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः। श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः। हरि गोविंदा जय हो। श्रीमन नारायण 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 लक्ष्मी नारायण 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 लक्ष्मी नारायण 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 लक्ष्मी नारायण नारायण नारायण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय 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 वासुदेवाय। वृंदावन में हरि लाल की जय। आसन लीजिए सब लोग, दरअसल टेक आवर सीट्स। On this beautiful afternoon, my dear friends, as we take this wonderful opportunity to welcome all, we say Aapko Swagatam, Namaskar Karta Hu. On this most beautiful afternoon, as we've come together to join in this most divine celebration, we are here to celebrate a wonderful Janmadin, a wonderful birthday of the daughter of this home. And as we're about to begin this afternoon, without further ado, special welcome to the members of the Celestial Gandharvas, members of my wonderful group, as we're about to create once more the divine energy of this wonderful evening. Also to our brother Ritesh Bhaiya, special thanks for being here, special welcome on behalf of all of us as you've come to join us to once more create the divine energy of the heavens. And to each and every one who've come from far and near, to those who are tuned in via Facebook, wherever you are in the world, we say Swagatam, welcome to our beautiful afternoon of devotion. Without further ado, let us all sit upright, let us close our eyes so that we now join in our invocation prayer, beautiful mantras, inviting the divine to enter to our homes and to our hearts. वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा या देवी सर्वभूतेषु दुर्गारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु सरस्वती रूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्मांगरागाय महेश्वराय नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगंबराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय मंदाकिनी सलिलचंदन चर्चिताय नंदीश्वर प्रमथनाथ महेश्वराय मंदार पुष्प बहुपुष्प सपूजिताय तस्मै मकाराय नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय। शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा शिव का नाम भज ले, शिव का नाम भज ले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भज ले, शिव का नाम भज ले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भज ले, शिव का नाम भज ले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भज ले, शिव का नाम भज ले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भज ले. On this day, my friends, we are about to begin our afternoon with 40 verses of Sri Hanuman Chalisa. And as we pay our prostrations or salutations to Mahavir Swami, all together we pray. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamana Mukura Sudha Varna Raghuvara Vimala Jasu Jodaya Kupalacha Buddhi na tanu janike Sumiro Pavana Kumar Bala Buddhi Vidya Dev Mohi Arahu Kalesha Vikar. All together, Pavana Sutta Hanuman ki Jai, Bajrangabali ki Jai. Jai Ho. Jai Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagar, Jai Kapishati Hulu Kaujagar, Ramadutta Tulita Baladama, Ajani Putra Pavana Sutta Nama. महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी सुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंदन वरन विराज सुवेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित किसा महावीर बलवंत महावीर बलवंत जय हनुमान महावीर बलवंत पवन पुत्र हनुमान. ओम श्री हनुमते नमः. ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मोज जने उतार शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन निज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बस्य महावीर बलवंत महावीर बलवंत जय हनुमान महावीर बलवंत पवन पुत्र हनुमान. Glory is the Lord Hanuman. Sukshma Rupa Dhari Siyahi Dikava Vikata Rupa Dhari Laka Jarawa Bhima Rupa Dhari Asura Sanhari Ramachandra ke Kaaj Savari Laye Sajeevan Lakan Jiyayi Shri Raghuveer Arashi Uralayi Raghupati ke ne Bahut Barayi Tumama Priya Bharatai Sama Bhai Mahavir Balavanta Mahavir Balavanta Jai Hanuman Mahavir Balavanta Pavana Putra Hanuman. Glories to Shri Hanuman. Tumharo mantra vibhishan mana Lankeshwar bhai sab jag jana Yug sahas yovachana parabhanu Niltahi madhur bal jano Prabhu modrika mil mukhamai Jal dilange gaya char janai Durgamata jagat ke jete Sugama anugraha tumare tete Mahavir balavanta Mahavir balavanta Jai Hanuman Mahavir balavanta Pavana putra Hanuman. राम द्वारे तुम रखवारे पुत्र आज्ञा कृपा सारे सब सुकला है तुम्हारे शरणा रक्षक पुत्र हनुमान। नासय रोग हरय सब पीरा, जगत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै, मर्दम वचन ध्यान जो लावै। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै, सोई अमित जीवन बल पावै। महावीर बलवंता महावीर बलवंता, जय हनुमान महावीर बलवंता, पवन पुत्र हनुमान। जय बजरंगबली। चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियार। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता, सबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दाता। महावीर बलवंता महावीर बलवंता, जय हनुमान महावीर बलवंता, पवन पुत्र हनुमान। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, धर्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबर जाए, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाए। और देवता चित्त न डरहि, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जसु मिरय हनुमत बलबीरा। महावीर बलवंता महावीर बलवंता, जय हनुमान महावीर बलवंता, पवन पुत्र हनुमान। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरु देवकी नाई। जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई, जो नहीं बंदे महासुख होई। जो यहाँ पर हनुमान चालीसा, होई सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा। तुलसीदास सदारि तेरा की जयनाथ हृदय महातेरा। महावीर बलवंता महावीर बलवंता, जय हनुमान महावीर बलवंता, पवन पुत्र हनुमान। As we pay salutations to Mahavir Swami, as we glorify that universal one, the one who's filled with strength and power, we sing all together. Jaya Hanuman Mahavir Balavanta, Pavan Putra Hanuman. 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 पवन पुत्र हनुमान, पवन पुत्र हनुमान, पवन पुत्र हनुमान, पवन पुत्र हनुमान, पवन पुत्र हनुमान। पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की। As we're about to begin this beautiful afternoon in devotion, as we always do whenever we join in Katha, when we join in devotion and prayer, today we're about to join in the golden pages of Bhagavatam, where we take blessings of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, that most manifested form. But before we do so, we will join in chanting the name of the Divine Lord, awakening the consciousness, the blessings, the energy of that Supreme Master. It is said Bhagwan Krishna is known to be the Lord of life. and being the Lord of life, today we're here to celebrate life. While we are celebrating life, we must thank our Lord for the opportunities and the blessings that we have been graced with. For every single day is an opportunity that comes in our path. And today, while we're here, united as one family, together with love and with devotion, we're about to join in chants. We'll join in a chant to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, and then we go in depth to our Katha. One voice all together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody bole. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We sing all together and we praise Bhagavan Shri Krishna. For our Katha begins where in a wonderful village. Today it is said a king lives, and he lives a divine life, he lives an honest life. He lives taking care of his people. And as the Katha continues, we join in chants to all learn. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One voice. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhe Govinda. Everybody bolo. Oh, Hari. Jai Govinda. Radhe 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 Shyam Radhe Govinda Murali Madhav Radhe Shyam Radhe Gopala Radhe 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 Shyam Radhe Govinda Murali Madhav Radhe Shyam Radhe Gopala Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare 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 Rama Rama Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopala Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopala Hare Krishna 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 Vrindavan mein Hari Lal ki. One voice everybody. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare. Shri Vrindavan mein Hari Lal ki, Pavan Sudha Hanuman ki Jai. On this beautiful afternoon, my friends, we have come together with love and with devotion to join with the members of this wonderful Rambaran family as we will join in a beautiful celebration of a birthday and a Janmadin. It is said life is so short in this world. Every opportunity you get, embrace it. Every moment you get in this world, embrace it. Every chance you get to chant, to pray, to worship God, to thank God for life and energy and for the people in your lives, utilize that opportunity because time is short. In our Katha today, taken from the golden pages of Bhagavatam, we're about to speak of a king who lives in a village. And to make mention, it is said when the king lives in the village, he was one who was loved by the people. As a king, everybody loved him. It is said many a times in today's world, we go about and we may have people who love us and we will have people who don't like us. We live in our home in a village, and sometimes even in the village, there might be the people in the village who like us, and there might be the people who don't like us. Sometimes you'll have neighbors who favor us, and sometimes you'll have the neighbors who don't like us. No offense to the neighbors. It will happen in our jobs where you'll go to your work, and in your workplace you'll find people who like you, and you'll find people who don't like you. It will happen amongst brothers and sisters in your own family. Some will like you, and some won't like you. Who do you trust? Who will you keep close to you? Who will you embrace in this time or in this journey that you have in this world, this short one? Our scripture begins today. Whereas a king, he was always for his people. He will always give whatever he had to give. He will always give for the poor. He will always help those who are in need. He will help those who have fallen. Be a person who likes to help. Be a person, if I ask you today, when last did you give a little charity for something? You all can remember that? This morning? I didn't see that part this way, you know. When last did you give a little charity? When last did you help somebody in need? When last did you help someone genuinely who needs some form of help or some form of support? When last did you help someone who was in dire need of some form of help, whether mentally or emotionally, or a good word? When last did you speak a good word to somebody to make them feel nice, or uplift them, or motivate them? We live in a world, my friends, where today people do not help anymore, but they look down at us and they just laugh at us. We live in a different society. People don't hold hands together to work together. But in turn, people take their hands to hit and to beat down the people around them. We live in a different world, and the lesson today for birthday celebration is very powerful. And at the end, when we recap, you'll understand. But at this time, the king gives, and he gives in abundance. One day, according to Mahashiva Puran, it is said Prabhu Shankar, Lord Shiva, he sat down with Parvati Devi. And while he's sitting with her, Nandi and all the other Ganars, they're sitting in front of him. And Prabhu is looking on the earth, and Devi says, Prabhu, dekho na, look down. Look on the earth, how many people are suffering? Why don't you bless them, Lord? You are Mahadev. You are Shankar Bholenath. Why don't you bless these people of the world? And Lord Shiva says, I won't just bless them. Everybody has been born out of their karma, and they will have to face what they have to face. I cannot bless them. How you make your bed, so you sleep. When Prabhu Shankar speaks like that, Devi says, no, Mahadev, don't be so harsh to the people of the world. You are the Lord of the cosmos, the Father. It is up to you to lift them from their karmic reactions and their actions. And Lord Shiva looks down. He says, I can't bless them. At that point, it is said Nandi got up. And Nandi goes to Lord Shiva and he puts his hands together. And he says, Prabhu Shankar, as your Gana, as your devotee, I will pray for my brothers and sisters on the earth. Please bless them, Lord. Take an opportunity in your life and bless the people around you. Help the people around you. Lift people's spirit and energy. Haven't you ever heard? The hands that serve are greater than the hands that? That what? The hands that serve are more powerful than the hands that pray. Those are words of Baba Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai. He says to the people of the world who pray every single day, no problem, it's all good. But if you pray every day and you've never taken the same hand to help somebody, what is the use? Greater are the hands that serve compared to the hands that simply pray. You must have a balance in your life. You must balance prayer and work. You must balance school and home and your life. You must balance. If you don't have a balance, you will get imbalance. You might fall down. Create a balance in your life, mentally and emotionally. Today, Nandi goes to Lord Shiva, and they're looking at the king. And Nandi says, Prabhu, why can't you bless the king? Why can't you give the king what he has to receive in the world? And when Prabhu Shankar speaks, listen, my dear friends. All together. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityur Mokshayamamritat. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. When Nandi goes to Lord Shiva, Nandi goes on his knees, he puts his hands together, and he said, Lord, won't you help the people? And Lord Shiva says, why should I help them when people have their own karma to face? We know we have karma to face. But even though we have karma, you expect that when you pray, something should come out of that, not so? You should eradicate some of the karma. You should burn some of the karma. Things should start working good with you. As Nandi prays, listen. Nandi Bail Parabhaiti Shambhu Avinashi Shambhu Avinashi Nandi Bail Parabhaiti Shambhu Avinashi Shambhu Avinashi Damru Bajawata Daya Ponja Sukarashi Bambola Shiva Shankar Kailash ke Vasi Kailash ke Vasi Kailash ke Vasi Dekho Gaura Badana Shiya Laye Sat Nijadase Dekho Gaura Badana Liye Sat Sake Nijadase Bambola Shiva Shankar Kailash ke Vasi Kailash ke Vasi Bambola Shiva Shankar Kailash ke Vasi Kailash ke Vasi Dekho Gaura Badana Liye Sat Sake Nijadase. जब बास किया प्रभु तीर्थ क्षीण काशी वीर भय काशे जब बास किया प्रभु तीर्थ भय काशी तीर्थ भय काशी नर ध्यान नर ध्यान धरत भय योगी यति सन्यासी नर ध्यान धरत भय योगी यति संन्यासी प्रभु दर्शन के नैना बजे है प्यासी बजे है प्यासी प्रभु दर्शन के नैना बजे है प्यासी बजे है प्यासी जो दया जो दया करे शिव शंकर कटे यम पासी जो दया करे शिव शंकर कटे यम प्यासी It is said, my dear friends, Prabhu Shankar Bholenath, Lord Shiva sits in Kailash Parvat. He's looking down on the earth. And he doesn't want to bless the world, and he doesn't want to bless the king or the people. Parvati Mata says, Prabhu. Nandi says, Prabhu, people need your blessings nowadays. People pray and they expect something in return. When you pray, you expect something. Something good to happen in a job, something good to happen in your personal life. You expect some form of guidance. So that in turn, you are given confidence and faith to continue your prayer. And while the world is praying, the world is suffering, the king, he gives from what he has. And while giving, it is said, he understands that simple statement. The hands that serve are greater than the hands that pray. बम्बोला शिव शंकर कैलाश के वासी कैलाश के वासी बम्बोला शिव शंकर कैलाश के वासी कैलाश के वासी देखो गौरा बदन लिए साथ सती निज दासी देखो गौरा बदन लिए साथ सती निज दासी देखो गौरा बदन लिए साथ Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. It is said, friends, in our scripture, while the king decides that he will serve the world and serve the people, he comes down to the road and to the level of seeing people suffering. Many people were suffering from food. They had no food to eat. Many people didn't have proper clothing to wear. Many people were living very distressed in their life. Sit down now and think how lucky you are. Think how lucky we are. Recently, myself and the members of the Gandharvas, we've come from Guyana recently. There's some parts of Guyana. There's some parts of India. There are many parts of the world where people don't have food to eat. There are many parts of the world where people don't even have a proper transportation. There are many parts of the world where people don't even have a proper home. There are many parts of the world where people eat the same thing every day for the whole week or 2 weeks straight. Can you do that? Can you do that? When we eat the same thing one time, we say we don't want it again for the rest of the day. If we get it today and tomorrow we have to eat it again in our job, we say we don't want it. And we complain. People have nothing to eat sometimes. In the world that we're living in, the king tries to help and he tries to serve. But while serving the people, we can only have as much as we have to give. And he's giving and he's giving. He's a kind person, and even if he barely has, he will give his last. Do you know who people, when you go by them, there are some people who give you everything? And there are some people, when you go by them, the minute they see you, they start to put away everything. No offense. There are some places or some people you go, and when you go, they say welcome. And they give you everything. They can give you their life. As soon as you walk in your home, they're ready to, you just have to say, you see that there? I like that, you know. They say, you like it? Take it now, go. And there are some people, if you walk in your house and you say, see that thing, will you get that? I like that. Or you like it? Or they move it one side there. The mentality that we have. Some people are selfish in nature and some people are selfless in nature. That song that goes like this. Nadiya na piya kabhi apna jal, vriksha na kai kabhi apne pal. So beautiful, where that beautiful bhajan relates to us about life. Learn to be selfless and not selfish. Learn how to give back to the world. While today, it is said the king is giving everything that he could give to the best of his ability. It is said suddenly now he's starting to run out of his resources, and while running out, a time will come where he can't give as much as he used to give. He has a family and he has children that he has to take care of. His dulahin sits down and she will keep some resources, but at the same time, he is the person, if somebody come and beg, well, give him a little bit now. Take out a little bit again, it's fine, just give. And while he's giving, a day comes where in society, the village, the kingdom, it has been now struck by poverty. Even the king barely has anything. He doesn't have much. The village barely has even water to drink. People are coming by the gateways of the palace and they are knocking on the gateways and they are begging, "Oh Raja, can you give us something?" And he feels bad because he barely has anything. He walks up to his dulahin one day and she has a last bag of rice. And people are coming to beg and he wants to give the rice and dulahin holds it and she says, "But we have a child, we have children." And even then, he goes up to her and he says, "How can we allow people to come and leave without being satisfied?" You know, when people come by our home, our tradition is to make sure that they eat something, is to make sure they get something to drink, is to make sure they're comfortable. One of the greatest charities that we have is when we hold a yagya or a satsang or a prayers. Because when we have the prayers, one of the blessing is listening to the prayer, listening to the mantras and getting the blessings of the puja. But at the same time, you're feeding people. So you cook plenty and you invite everybody, and who can come, well, that's fine, you box it and you send it for them. Because you want to make sure you feed. That is the blessing. When you're having a satsang, when you're having a yagya, we put emphasis in cooking the food because you want to make sure you feed. And whatever remains, you make sure people take back and they feed more and more. That is a blessing by itself. On a random day, if somebody comes by your home, our tradition in India, our culture has taught us, don't just send them back. Give them something to eat. You're thirsty, bring a water for them, bring something to eat, and then they can go. Treat them nice. Because when people come to our place and they leave unsatisfied, in turn they take away the love, the happiness, and the joy of your home. We always make sure it is part of our tradition. The king is telling to his wife, "I know we may have to suffer, but even though I know it may be suffering coming on our path, I can't just send away people. I must give them something." So he gives from the bag of rice that he has, and his resources are becoming very, very low. It is said he gives so much until now he doesn't have any other means of food, but he has to practice fasting. In today's world, in America, a lot of people are starting to fast. You know why? Not just for prayers, you know, they're losing weight. People are fasting because they hear it's something religious and good to do, but in turn they're losing weight. It is said by fasting, they're tuning their mind, but more than that, mentally they know that they will lose weight. Spiritually, the effect is taking place where their bodies are becoming small. And in turn, their mind is starting to wake up to the universe. Today, Bhaktas, while the king, he's fasting. He calls it fasting, even though he doesn't have an option. There's not much food that is coming to the palace. He decides to just let it be. Listen, my friends. Vastu amolaka di mere Sadguru. Vastu amolaka di mere Sadguru. Kirpa kar apnayo payo ji maine Ram ratan dhan payo payo ji maine Ram ratan dhan payo. Well, there's one form of God. He goes to everybody's home and he tells everybody, when he reaches by their home, he walks up and he says, "Maya, mai bhok lag raha ho." Every house he go to eaten, but after every house he's still hungry. Because you know why? He have his favorite dish, and his dish is butter. And he's called what? What is his name? Auntie Sherry, you go like this one. Yamuna ji ko kari kari राधा गोरी गोरी वृंदावन में धूम मचावे बरसाने की चोरी ब्रजधाम राधा रानी को रजधानी लागे हो को रजधानी लागे माने कारो कारो यमुना जी को पानी लागे मीठे रस से भरो दे राधा रानी लागे महारानी लागे माने कारो कारो यमुना जी को पानी लागे मुरली में तो सुमिर बारंबार कोट न रूप धरे नंद नंदन तो न पावे पार कान्हा नित मुरली में तो सुमिर बारंबार कोट न रूप धरे नंद नंदन हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा श्री वृंदावन में हरिलाल की जय. Today, my friends, after the king kept trying to give everything that he had, he came down to no resources. He had no food. His children were hungry. His wife was hungry. He's decided to stay in his palace now, and he locked up himself in his palace because he had nothing. Days and weeks are passing by and he was hungry. His children are starving. It is said he became worn out. His body became weak and thin and small and lean. And at that point, on one day, it is said, one of the neighboring kings, they were passing by. And they came to the palace and they said, Raja, I've seen how small you've become. I know you don't have much in this village. My village doesn't have much either. But I've brought a handful of rice. I've brought 1 jar of milk. And that is all I can give to you. I cannot give anything else. at least you have something to last you one day. You can feed your wife and you can feed your children and you can allow them to be happy. And after giving now the king this handful of rice, this little bag of rice and this milk, the king now bids farewell to his friend and your friend goes. And when your friend leaves, the king holds on to his food and he says, Lord, thank you for what I have today. Thank you for my food. Thank you for something to drink. I always ask people, when last have you taken a moment to sit down, turn to God and say thank you? When last have you sat down just to analyze your life? There are people lying down in the hospital right now and can't move. There are people who can't do anything for themselves. They probably have a stroke. They can't even walk. They can't even speak. They can't even move their hands. They have no energy. When last did you sit down to say, Lord, you know what? I think I could see my life now and I can tell you that I am happy with who I am. Thank you, Lord, for the gift of what I have. Thank you for the gift of health. Thank you for the gift of strength. A line, it goes like this. Shri Rama Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Everybody boliye Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Mangala Bhavana Amangala Hari Dravahu Sudasharata Ajara Vihari Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Bolo Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Ram. Bolo Rama Rama Ram Sita Rama Rama Ram. Bolo Rama Rama Ram Sita Rama Rama Ram. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Ram. Vrindavan mein Hari Lal ki Jai. It is said, my friends, the king had only a little handful of rice, a jar of milk. He has a wife and he has children to feed. So the wife sit down and said, thank God we got food. Thank God we have something to eat now. So she called her children. They sit down in a little circle and they brought the milk and they brought the rice and they're ready to eat. And the king could barely move. His body is so thin and so weak. He barely gets up. He takes a handful of rice and he's about to put it at his mouth. And just before he puts it in his mouth, he hears somebody calling outside. Raja, mujhe bhook lag raha ho. Somebody's calling. King, Raja, I am hungry. And he stops because he's a person don't like to keep nothing for himself. Share. He believes in sharing. Give to the world. Feed. Give knowledge. Teach. Help people. He's hungry, thin, drawn out, weak. And he hears somebody call out, I am hungry. He tells his son, Utna, go and see who's outside. And his son gets up and he's taking his time and he's walking because even he's weak. And when he reaches there, he sees a sadhu. He comes back aside and he says, Pitaji, there's a brahmana outside. And he stops with that food right and he says, Brahmana, a guru come by my house. I can be full in my belly and a guru come. Give him something. When the gurus come to your home, do you feed them? What do you feed them? Do you make sure they're happy, comfortable? Because when the guru is comfortable in your home and he leaves a nice energy and aura and he says, you know what, I feel good. In turn, he leaves that good vibe and energy in your place. The place prospers. You prosper in your life. The son says, there's a brahmana. The king stops right and he says, okay, well, I can't eat and a guru comes, so he move back his hand now. Son, take this little handful that I have, put it in your hand, take some of the milk, pour it in a glass, take it outside, give it to the guru. And the Dulahin looks at him and she says, but this is all we have, a little handful. Can't you eat? You look at how small you are, you would fall down any day now. He says, I can't eat if someone or a guru has come by my house. So he decides now to give his share. He says, you all can eat, but I will give my share. And there he takes the share, or the son takes the share, takes it outside. The guru takes it and he says, I bless you to always have. And the guru leaves. The son comes back now and he sits down to prepare and he's about to eat now. And they're looking at the father and they're feeling bad. So they can't just eat and look at the father now, the king. So they take out some of the food now and they say, okay, now we have to make this short. We're giving you some, Dad, here, have something, eat. And he's about to put the mouthful in his mouth again. And he hears somebody call again outside. Bhok lag raha ho. Hungry again. Son, go and see who's outside. When the son goes outside, he sees an old man on a staff. The man says, child, I'm so hungry. I've been roaming everywhere. Look, I have my dog. My dog is walking with me and he's about to drop down any day now. We are so hungry and thirsty. We have nothing. You are the king. Can't you give us something? The son says, I don't think we have anything to give. And the father hears him and he calls him back. Arey beta, vapas na, come back. Son, who's that? Pitaji, there's an old man with a dog. But don't worry about them because we don't have enough to feed them. And the father looking at the little bit he have again there. He says, son, well, here's what. Take my share and go. Dulahin is looking now. The rice is becoming smaller. She's splitting up this and the little bit of them that they have. But what would they do when they start giving away their food? The son gives some of the milk and he gives some more of the rice to the old man and to the dog. It hurts him to see that they have no food to eat, but the father takes the food and he gives it to the dog. And the son is thinking, but you're feeding the animal the food and I'm hungry and my dad is hungry and everybody hungry. And you're feeding the animal the food. But he comes back inside and they sit. Dulahin says, you only like to give everything. Why are you like this for? And he says to her, don't you have faith in God? How much faith do you have in your Lord? Where is our faith in Prabhu? Listen to this beautiful bhajan. Ye jeevan bheet jayega, tujhe rona nahi hoga. The son says, Dad, you know what? I know I have to feed you. I will give you. Because there's this saying, once a man and twice a child. It is expected that parents will work hard and take care of their children. But you know what, at the end of the day? The parents will give their life for the children, not with the expectation of the one thing, but as a child, when you're growing up and you start to do well, you have to take care of your parents too. Know that. What goes around comes around. Once a man, twice a child. A mother shouldn't have to come to you one day and you have a job and the mother have to come and say, well, beta, give me a little change now. I want to go in the grocery. It is up to your mind and your heart. Nobody should ever stop you from doing that. In the world that we live in today, it is your birthright as a child when you're born. Mother will sacrifice whatever it takes to grow you up. Father will do whatever it takes. Shalana, listen, right? I've known you all your life. I don't want to say all mine. I've known you all your life. And all the time that I've known you and your entire family, mother and father have been working hard, day in and day out. 2 jobs if they must. 2 of them working round the clock. Just to make sure you have what you have. There would be days and nights where they're sitting there late and they send you in the bed to sleep and they're still wondering, well, what to do tomorrow, not so? What to do tomorrow and what plan to make. They're still deciding at times as to how to decide what to do to bring in an extra income because probably, you know what, she have to do a course and the course is expensive. Maybe she have to go study. We don't want to tell them what you're studying. But maybe she have to do this part of the job and it's so expensive and they have to take care of everything in the house and still wonder, well, you know what, well, if we put aside this amount, tell me if it's true and I don't know, They have to put aside this amount and if we put it aside, well, we had to cut down on this now. We have to cut down on that. We have to cut down on these. And you know what? Hand in hand, they will work together and they will make it happen. You will only know when you wake up the next morning, well, you know what? Here's what. We work it out. You will go to school now. You will get the course done. You will get what you have to get. Make it happen. What goes around comes around. While the parents sacrifice, today take it upon yourself to know that one day, as we say, once a man and twice a child, they are not old to be on a bed or not be able to work, but it is a duty. It is the duty of a child. No matter where you go in the world, no matter who you may be married to at any point in your life, it is your duty to take care of your parents. It is your duty one day to come home from your job and say, you know what? Well, maybe I got my paycheck today. Mom, dad, just hold that. Maybe they might say, well, we good. Y'all keep it now. But it is your duty to take care of your parents. They won't ask you. They won't look out for it. But there's nothing in the world you can do to repay them. The best you can do is give back in your best way. Today, my friends, the beautiful bhajan of faith goes like this. ये जीवन बीत जाएगा, तुझे रोना नहीं होगा, भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर, तुझे रोना नहीं होगा, भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर, तुझे रोना नहीं होगा, ये जीवन बीत जाएगा, तुझे रोना नहीं होगा। कभी सुख है, कभी दुख है, ये जीवन धूप छाया है। क्या बात? कभी सुख है, कभी दुख है, ये जीवन धूप छाया है, हंसी में ही बिता डालो, हंसी में ही बिता डालो, नेता नहीं यही माया है। It is said in today's world, while many of us will forsake our loved ones, while many of us we forget where we've come from, like we say, Scripture says that one day the people you forget are the same people you have to turn to when there's that time of need. We often know it in today's society, you must never kick somebody. And when we say literal kick, you know, as the world that we live in, people backstab and people turn against you. We must never turn against people and create enemies in the world, because you never know the day you have to go back to them. In today's world, you see children turning their backs on their parents, but the day will come when they have nothing, and who will they go back to? The same parents, and they will expect their help. Life is uncertain. Our destiny is uncertain. As parents are loving their children, vice versa, children should love their parents. ये कुछ भी तो नहीं जग में तेरी बस कर्म की माया ये कुछ भी तो नहीं जग में तेरी बस कर्म की माया तो कूर के दूर ले गया तो कूर के दूर ले गया राखी जरूर की छाया ये जीवन बीत जाएगा ये जीवन बीत जाएगा तुझे रोना नहीं होगा. Where's your faith? Have faith in God. Life is unpredictable. Bhagwan will turn you upside down sometimes. Bhagwan will try in many ways to distract you. He will break your heart. He will break your concentration. He will try to put blockages before you. But God only tests you, my friends, to see how good you are to rise above troubles and blockages. Today the king, every time he's about to eat, he's realizing that he may have to give up his food. Until on the final one old amma, one old mother comes and they're about to eat their little bit of food that is remaining. And at that point, he tells to his dulhin, you know what, it is my nitya. I cannot give, or I cannot keep rather, when people have come to beg and ask for something, I must give. I cannot sit down and fill my belly and look at other people hungry outside there. This is just my personality. There are some people prefer eat their belly full and whatever remain, you'll get the rest. Not you and Arish. And there are some people, they will sacrifice and give their all. And if you ask them, you want, you hungry? No, I good. At that time, the belly going grrr inside it. Be a person who will always give back to the world. But also there may be limitations, because if you can't move forward or work or stand anymore, how will you give? So use your discretion in the world. Today, the king decided to give everything. And when he gave it his all, at that point he had nothing to eat, he had nothing to drink, he had given his last amount, and he sat down to himself and he says, you know what? He says, Dulahin, I think I will die anytime now. And he feels his body feeling drained and down and out. And he says, with the way I'm feeling, I don't think I will make it for long. He lies down there and his Dulahin is very weak as well, and she sits by his head. And she says, all the time, all you had to do was take care of yourself and eat a little. But you didn't listen. And while he's sitting there, he says, Devi, I think any time now my soul might leave because I feel so drained on the inside. And she says, well then think of the Divine Lord. You've always prayed to the Lord. Think of Prabhu. And he thinks of Prabhu in his mind. And he concentrates at the feet of our Lord. Who does he think of? Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Bolo He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. And while he's lying down there with his last moment, he thinks of who? Bhagwan Gopal. He thinks of Bhagwan Krishna. Prabhu, in this lifetime, I lived my best. You're still young. Do you think in your mind you could sit down and say, you know what? I think I've lived a good life so far. Nobody knows when God is going to come for you. So if you sit down right now and say, well, Bhagwan will come for you tomorrow, can you say, today I can sit and say, I've lived a good life so far? I've helped, I've given charity, I've taken care of my parents to the best of my ability, I've given back to the world, I pray, I do dedication to God. Can you sit and be contented with the person that you are? If you're contented with the way you are, then keep it going there. And if you're not contented with the way you are and you're thinking, well, if Bhagwan have to come for me tomorrow, I think I still need to do this and I should have do that, then do it now. Do it. Because nobody knows when your moment will come. Today when the king sits down, he had been a king to give so much. Everything that you have won't last forever. One day he sat down and he could have given everybody everything. He could have given money and wealth, and the kingdom he was giving food in abundance and he was feeding. But then when poverty had come and when there was strain in the entire kingdom, he had to take out of his own and he gave until now he has nothing. Don't think you will always have everything. One day, just like this, you could lose it all. Some people reach it all up here and they have everything at the tip of your fingers. And it could just be at the snap of a finger and you could lose everything you have. You can be the biggest businessman today and tomorrow you could lose everything. I was speaking to somebody just earlier today, and as a matter of fact, a big businessman, I'm not going to tell you, not from Trinidad though, but he had this big business and everything was going well, and then in the middle of the night, all of a sudden now, he smells smoke. And then what happened next? Everything burned down. Everything was lost. You could have it all now, and 5 minutes from now, you could lose everything. You can have your families now, and not too long from now, you could lose everybody around you. Recently, I've been seeing, you just have to walk outside and you're hearing the mic passing. Every day you're hearing a mic passing. Sometimes 2 times a day you have a mic passing. Well, be careful which mic I'm talking about, eh? Not the one with the slice and the cover the rice and thing. Not that one, you know. The other mic. I know some of you just wake up to hear the man saying one slice to cover your rice. Where you from, boy? Before you know it, you're hearing the mic passing, and one by one your neighbor is going. One by one of your friends is going. One by one the closest people to you are going. Take care of yourself and the people around you. Be contented with who you are. You can have everything now, and 5 minutes from now you can lose it all. Appreciate it. One of our message to you today, as you're celebrating your birthday, you're young and you're achieving and you're striving for the best of everything. Appreciate it. Appreciate the days while you're accomplishing what you're accomplishing. Enjoy life, laugh and smile. Enjoy it while it is coming, because you don't know when you can lose everything. It may not be everything in front of you, but you don't know when you can leave and leave everything behind too. Such is life. Take time in your life as a young woman to enjoy your parents, to love them, to laugh with them, to have a good time with them, to go out with them, to surprise them, to make them smile. Because you don't know how many people in the world will beg for this opportunity one more time. You don't know how many people beg to see their spouse one more time just to smile. You don't know how many parents will beg or give whatever it takes to beg to sit down with their child and smile. You don't know what it takes today where a child sits and begs, you know what, I wish I could have seen mommy, but she gone. I wish I could have seen my dad just one more time, just to see him walk, just to see him move around, just one more time. And you're not fortunate. You are still lucky. Embrace that. Don't fight with your sister. Love her. Embrace her. Or don't be the other way around. Embrace her. Love her. Embrace your family, my friends. Time is short in the world. As we are about to join in this beautiful one, it is said when the king, he started to pray. He says, Prabhu, please bless me. I had it all one day. Today I have nothing now. My life is about to leave. Bless me, Prabhu. Aha kashta haran, aha dukkha haran, tera naam, Rama ho, kamal naine wale Ram. Aha kashta haran, aha dukkha haran, tera naam, Rama ho, kamal naine wale Ram. Rama ho, kamal naine wale. गट गट में तेरे आभा समाए, तू ही सभी का सच्चा सहाय। गट गट में तेरे आभा समाए, तू ही सभी का सच्चा सहाय। तू ही है सारी जगत का रचैया, तू ही है सारी जगत का रचैया। हाथों में तेरी लगा दुक्ख हरन, तेरा नाम, तेरा नाम, तेरा नाम, रामा हो कमल हो। कैसे सुनाए महिमा तुम्हारी, नानी वानियों में शक्ति हमारे। कैसे सुनाए महिमा तुम्हारे, नानी वानियों में शक्ति हमारे। सब प्राणियों का तू ही है दाता, सब प्राणियों का तू ही है दाता। सब है तुम्हारे गुलाम मेरा। आहा कष्ट हरन, आहा दुख हरन, तेरा नाम, तेरा नाम, तेरा नाम, रामा हो कमल हो। मन में हमारे भक्ति जगा दो, अपने चरण का दीवाना बना दो। मन में हमारे भक्ति जगा दो, अपने चरण का दीवाना बना दो। तेरी मधुर नाम प्यारे रमैया, तेरी मधुर नाम प्यारे रमैया। जपते रहे आतो याद तोरा। आहा कष्ट हरन, आहा दुख हरन, तेरा नाम, तेरा नाम, तेरा नाम, रामा हो कमल नैने वाले राम। रामा हो कमल नैने वाले राम, रामा हो कमल नैने वाले राम। Bolan Bihari Lal ki Jai. When the king sat down there, his life was about to leave. He started to think of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, and Bhagwan Gopal started to guide him. Bhagwan Shri Krishna started to guide him. Lord Krishna manifested before him and he says, my child, little does the world know how you will lose everything that you have before you, and after that you will lose your own self and lose this body. And there Bhagwan Krishna says, at this point I will leave, but I will put you in sole charge of the universal Devi, for Devi will protect you from this point onwards. And it said, while Bhagwan Gopal is about to fade away back into the skies, he looks up into the air and he sees the Divine Mother. He sees Adi Shakti, and Adi Shakti is about to come down to where he is, as he's on the ground and he's on the earth. And while his Dulahin is holding on to him, he's seeing her coming down. And he says, Ma, is it you? Maya? Devi? Is it you really, Adi Shakti, Parashakti Maya? And while he looks up at her, it is said while she's becoming closer and closer, his body is becoming once more filled and filled again. And he's feeling good, he's not even feeling hungry. And Devi says, you have been a selfless soul. You have been one who have dedicated your life to the world. And when you give, you get back. You give so much. Today I will give you back your life. I will give you back because not so many people in the world may be fortunate to find a personality like this. Not many people will be lucky to find someone around them who's willing to help and share and lift. Instead, we find people willing to push you and pull you down. Today I bless you. And when she blesses him, at that point he says, Devi, Mata Parvati, Devi Mata Dehi, Annapurne Mata Dehi, Bhiksham Dehi, Sita Vallabha Kari Mata Dehi. And while his body is being filled with strength, he gets up. Is this Dulahin? Can't you see her? Can't you see Devi coming to bless us? Our mother is here to guide us. Bhagwan Krishna had come. Lord Shiva sits in Kailash Parvat and Parvati Mata says, you don't want to bless them? Well, I will go. While in the beginning of our Katha, Lord Shiva looks down and he says, that is their karma. Parvati Mata, it says, Mata Parvati, Devi Mata Dehi, Annapurne Mata Dehi, Bhiksham Dehi, Sita Vallabha Kari Mata Mata Dehi. And Parvati Devi comes down and she says, I will bless you today because you have a good heart. It is not about how much you have. It's not about how much you will accomplish. It's not about how much money you could make. It's not about how much of a bigger house you could build compared to the people in your life. It's not about which best vehicle you can buy. It is how you live with people that is important. It is how you will live with society that will distinguish who you are as a person. Learn how to talk to people. Learn how to deal with people. Learn how to coexist with people. Learn how to stand up side by side, because in the end, you didn't come in the world to make friends. You will leave everything you see here behind. But the little companionship that you create, learn to enjoy the moments that you have while you're alive. Hey Mata, Om Shri Mata Lalitamba. माता ओम श्री माता ललितांबा हे माता ओम श्री माता ललितांबा। Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. It is said, my dear friends, on this most given opportunity, when Devi came down and she saw the king, she says, today I will bless you back with everything that you have because you have lived a good life and you've given back to the world. When you give, you're going to get back exactly what you give. So if you never give, don't expect anything. But what you give is exactly what you will receive. And with that in turn, the king got up with all strength and all energy. He paid his pranams and he prayed to the mother. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadra Kali Kapalani Durga Kshama Shiva Datre Swaha Swadha Namostute Om Namo Narayanaya Namaha Om Shivignahartaya Namo Namaha Om Hara 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 Mahadev Om Hara 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 Mahadev Om Hara 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 Mahadev. With this we end our beautiful message. As we end our katha, this time we have a wonderful cake that we are about to cut. And as we are waiting the mother and father of this wonderful home to bring the cake, today has been a day where, or today is that day in which we are celebrating a wonderful birthday. We're celebrating life. And many people may not know the connection of myself and Shalana. But while she's celebrating her birthday today, just before we came out to start, I was asking my goddaughter there. I said, how long have I known you all now? And mom says, well, before the small one born. So that has been over 19 years now. And being over 19 years now, I've been practicing being a pundit before then. So that tell you my age, right? But I'm really young, don't study it. So while we are here to join in this celebration, I've known this family for over 20 years. And knowing them for that period of time, for the wonderful young daughter that you've grown to become, today you're established, you're working, you're doing well, and you've chosen birthday or this celebration in this most beautiful way, Satsang. I commend you for that. Everybody give her a round of applause. For a young girl in today's society, many young people, when they're ready to celebrate their birthday, they could have said, "Now, Daddy, Raymond living right up the road. We go call along the band." But instead, she said for a long time now, when my birthday come, I want to have satsang. I want to have singing. I want to have katha. And today, you are lucky and you're blessed and you're fortunate to be with the people who you love and for the people who love you. And while you're here to celebrate this birthday, this is where we want to invite you to stand and to come alongside with your sister and mom and dad. And we want to cut the cake. And we want to wish you a happy birthday. That is what, 82? No, alright, correct. As you're about to join in the cutting of the cake, everybody sing along with us. Let us receive blessings of our Lord as we now join in our birthday song. बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, तुझे हजारों साल ये मेरी है आरज़ू। हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू, हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू, हैप्पी बर्थडे टू शलाना, हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू, हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू, हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू, हैप्पी बर्थडे टू शलाना, हैप्पी बर्थडे टू। give her a round of applause. Happy birthday to you on this beautiful and auspicious day of yours. At this time, as you've now joined in the cutting of the cake, we have a wonderful program that will take place in a few moments, and we also have a vote of thanks and a speech by the birthday girl. But before we do so, did the dance do or no? But before we do so, let us all stand for final arti. आरती कुंज विहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज विहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज विहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की राधिका रमण बिहारी की गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज बिहारी की गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी गगन सम अंग कांति काली काली राधिका चमक रही आली आली रतन में कर दे बनमाली माली ब्रह्म से अलग कस्तूरी तिलक चंद से झलक ललित छवि श्यामा प्यारी की गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज विहारी त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरि ओम। श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। जय सीताराम। आसन लीजिए, लेट्स ऑल टेक आवर सीट्स।